following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the WZWA network and welcome to my review show here of NWA 74, the 74th anniversary show, night number 2, live from the Chasers Khorassan Ballroom in St. Louis, Missouri on August 28th. Thank you for joining me. I thought that I'd be doing this review with my co-host Juicy Boy, who did night 1 with me. I know he had work today. I've reached out to him several times. I still haven't heard from him. I don't know if he has watched it yet. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Juicy Boy. I had to start recording this review now because I have to edit it, upload it, and then interview somebody later on this evening. So time is ticking. I'm sorry, my friend. And I'm sorry, everyone out there who prefers the duo of myself and Juicy Boy for these reviews. But again, what a great show this was. Looking forward to sharing my thoughts with you all. The show began, and I guess I should say before I start, I did not watch the pre-show yesterday, and I did not watch the pre-show today. I wasn't really aware that there was a pre-show, but time is money, man. Time is money, and I didn't have that extra time yesterday or today to watch that as well. And I would have liked to, because I usually do that, but it is what it is. I could only do the main shows. So anyway, let's crack on with it, shall we? First matchup, 2 out of 3 falls. The ever talented Colby Corino taking on Caprice Coleman. Colby's a real chip off the old block, a star for the future, I'm sure, especially in that junior heavyweight division. I think he should grow his hair out a bit, though, because the hairstyle of an office worker doesn't work for me, brother. But that's just me. Maybe it doesn't matter to him, but I think he should grow his hair out a little bit. Might make him, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal. This is the first time I've seen Caprice Coleman wrestle. I have seen him do commentary for AEW, I believe, in the past. I don't know. I've seen him a few times on commentary, excuse me. But I was interested to see what this was going to be all about. I thought that the first fall for Colby tapping out quickly, I thought that was strange. I thought that was a strange way of doing things, but as he said, he had 2 more to go. So interesting spot, and Caprice Coleman sold it. The confusion of him tapping out so easily to a very simple arm lock. He sold that quite well too. One thing I wanted to say, I don't know if people noticed this on the pay-per-view, but there's a security guy that just keeps sneaking down low, like running down the aisle, and it just kept popping me because it's like, I know that you're trying to hide yourself, but that's the main camera shot, bro. We've seen you every single time you do it. Colby cheating for the second fall. And it's funny, though, because Joe Galley was yelling out loud about the fact that Colby had that weapon in his hand when he hit Caprice in the head with it during that backdrop attempt. And Joe Galley's yelling, he's got a weapon, he's got a weapon. The crowd is quiet. Clearly, the referee should have been able to hear it. That's just another thing from Joe Galley popping me. Great dive from Corino. Again, that's where a dive makes sense. It was happenstance. It made sense at the time. Caprice, as he turned around, boom, he got hit with that suicide dive. Very good. I did laugh a little bit about Colby jawing with the bald guy at ringside. I will bring up that bald guy a few more times. I thought Caprice doing that spot where he ran around the goalpost and kicked him in the head. I thought that was sick, and I was getting sold on Caprice. I thought he was doing a good job. I thought, though, as soon as I wrote that, though, he came to the ring for this bump and feed with a few clotheslines on Colby, one after another, but it looked like he was a little gassed or something, which he shouldn't be because he looks like he's quite the athlete. But I didn't get what I was looking for with that bump and feed. He needed to be a little bit more intense with those clotheslines. But that's just nitpicking. There was a triple Northern Lights spot, which I believe is one of his main maneuvers. That was solid. And then Colby managed to hit the sunsetter, which is a sick move. I've never seen that before. And I thought Colby was the right choice for victory. And I think a junior heavyweight title run should come sooner rather than later, once Homicide's done uh, being a menace on the roster. Let's move forward. This is kind of like the low light of the show, the next few things here. The next thing is a battle royal, 12 teams for the United States tag team title. So new tag titles being brought in. I mean, obviously, following the lineage of the old United States tag team championships. So 12 teams, 24-man fucking battle royal. You know how I feel about battle royals. Sometimes I've liked them, but lately they go too long. Name every team that was in this thing. Team Ambition, Ill Begotten, The Now, Gold Rush, Rough and Ready. I got a bone to pick with you, Rough and Ready. Do you realize that Rough and Ready was Mike Enos and Dick Slater in WCW in the mid to late 90s? How dare you? No one would remember that but me and Adam Blast, of course. The Fixers, the Country Gentlemen, the Spectaculars, Hawx, Aerie. I used to say Aerie because I'm a dumb Australian that can't pronounce things properly. Miserably Faithful, the OGK with JJ Dillon, and La Rebellion came out as well to be the final team, which was a surprise. I wrote lucky OGK had JJ with them because if OGK show up and Maria isn't with them, I've got a massive problem. And I'm sure everyone's like, where's Maria? As soon as Mike Bennett walks out, oh yeah, where's Maria? Where's Maria? But I'm the same with Cardona. If Cardona comes out and I don't see Chelsea Green, I get ticked off. I thought Hawx RE should have won. That's just what I was thinking going into this, considering the strong effort they put in on last night's show on night one. There was a lot of people in the ring, man, and I wrote, please don't let this go over 20 minutes. I'll be honest with you, I kind of, when you're watching on your Fight TV or whatever, and you just press the arrow to skip like 10 seconds. I did that a few times when there was nothing really happening. It's just people you can get a bit bored with just punches, after a while. But also I was panicking about time today, as usual. So once Hawx RE got eliminated, I was like, oh, okay, well, the OGK need to win then. I think that would have made most sense, but they're probably not sticking around. So I don't know what they're doing, if they're sticking around Impact for a bit longer. I don't know what the go is, if they've been regulars on NWA. I would love to have the time to watch the shows, but I don't. I would love to know anyone out there, if you have a full-time job and you have the time to watch Power, NWA USA, MLW Fusion, Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Impact. Does anyone out there have the time to actually watch all that? Because I certainly don't. And that's just the way it is. But yeah, I would like to know more things that are going on with some of these teams. And I would have liked a bit more, I don't know, some video packages showing us what led to these moments for these matches. But maybe that's just not NWA style. Anyway, I'll keep going. I thought the Ball fan, it felt like he was trying to get himself over. And I was just like, man, sit down. And I know later on he was standing up again, for a whole period of that women's tag title match. And I thought to myself, sit down, bro. People sitting behind you. Do you not have any foresight to think that maybe you're being annoying? Because these NWA shows, yes, unfortunately, a lot of the time people are going to be sitting down because that's just the style of fan that it is. Okay, the OGK getting with the elimination spot with La Rebellion. I thought that was a fantastic spot. And I was shocked, actually. I was shocked that it was going to be either the Fixers or Team Ambition to be winning this match. So yeah, I mean, Team Ambition were making their debut here, so I was surprised that they made it to the final four. Because of that, I said that the Fixers need the win because they're two big boys and they've been there for a while. And they got the win, and they've been around a while, so I think that they deserve something nice. It's okay. Matt Cardona came out for an interview, and unfortunately, I skipped it because I knew what he was going to say, and I just couldn't be bothered. And I'm not trying to be rude about Matt Cardona. Excuse me, sorry. His phone call there. Look, yeah. Where was I? Sorry. Yeah, it's nothing against Matt Cardona. I knew what he was going to say. I was like, I just, I'm having one of those days. I'm having one of those days. Excuse me. Sorry. Someone keeps ringing me. Mercurio takes on Magic Jake Dumas. And that was the next matchup here. And I guess this is unfortunately even more of a low light of the show. I mean, if you've been following the reviews, you know that generally I'm pretty positive a lot of the time, unless it's stuff that's not realistic. You know what I mean? And I'm all for comedy and silliness, but and I try to, like, you know, when I watch a match, I try to like just give it a chance and take it for what it is. So it's the first time I've seen Mercurio. I've seen Magic Jake Dumas before, because his assistant CJ is the one to watch. She pops me, and I'll talk about her a little bit further on here. Mercurio, straight out of a Mills and Boone novel. I find that funny. I would love to see some vignettes. I know NWA probably don't do things like this very often, but if they do, they need to make some vignettes of this guy. I'd like to see some sort of Mills and Boone-esque stuff. That would be cool. And if you don't know what Mills and Boone are, do a Google search. It's those romance novels. You know, where, you know, he tears the velvet scarf from a neck, and you know, they talk, it's all about getting old women horny. Mercurio. Okay, this is the missed opportunity I think that these two had here with this kind of comedy spot. Mercurio, you know, he was standing there, Magic Jake Dumas, he's a magician, obviously. He pulls out a card, right? Mercurio took the card, ripped it up, and that made me laugh. But then Magic Jake Dumas grabbed Mercurio's novel, because the novel has him on the cover. And instead of throwing it in the crowd, what he should have done was, this is just me, maybe everyone else out there might think this is dumb, but what he should have done was he should have opened up the book and revealed the card, the very same card that Mercurio ripped up. That would have got a pop from the crowd. Mercurio could have sold it like, oh, how the fuck did you get the card back? I just ripped it up. That would have been fucking hilarious, because everyone would have known beforehand that was pre-organized. Anyway, CJ popping me the whole time, because whilst Magic Jake Dumas getting his ass handed to him, no matter what the situation, she's always smiling and presenting the match. Presenting. I just think that's fucking hilarious, man. And she sells it so well. She never laughs. She never cracks up or anything like that. She does a good job in her role. But after this part, man, I have to say this match was getting a little disjointed. It felt like that there was, I don't know if it was a communication issue between the two of them, but it just seemed disjointed. And it just got a little bit messy. But then Mercurio kind of saved things a little bit with that spear through the ropes to the outside. I thought that was nuts. But then I don't know, I found the finish to be fucking awkward and weird. So Magic Jake Dumas has his assistant CJ hand him like a razor blade, I suppose. Mercurio kind of flirts with CJ at ringside, which kind of got a little bit awkward as well, because it went on a little bit too long, and I wasn't seeing enough of the, I guess, any sort of mannerisms from her that made it seem like she was actually interested in him or whatever. But it is what it is. It just went a little long. And then by the time Mercurio got in the ring, Magic Jake Dumas had the razor blade in his mouth, and his mouth was bleeding. And he pulled the razor blade out, and he was like threatening to, like, I don't know, damage Mercurio's beautiful face or whatever. And he was begging him off. And I guess that led to the finish with the Abracadabra, which is a great name for a finish. And that was the end of the match. And I just wrote, that wasn't very good, mate. And I hate being negative like that, because I could see that there was effort put in here between these two guys, but it just did not click. Moving forward, MLW Openweight Championship. I believe that's the name of the belt. I know it's Openweight. If there's another word in there, I'm sorry. I don't watch MLW. I would like to, but they don't put on pay-per-views on Fight TV. It's just MLW Fusion. And when they have their big specials, they just cut it up as episodes of MLW Fusion. So, I mean, I would like it if MLW at least put on 1 or 2 Fight TV-esque pay-per-views a year. I think that would be cool, and then I'd actually check them out. Anywho, Thrillbilly Silas. Thrillbilly Silas Mason. It's the first time I've seen him perform with Pollo Del Mar, not Pollo. I'm such an Aussie. Oh yeah, Pollo Del Mar. No, Pollo Del Mar is the name of his valet, taking on Davey Rich as the champion. And I did not really write many notes here. I feel bad, but the one thing that stood out the most was Thrillbilly's 6 spinning boss man slam. Just so many rotations. I thought that was quite impressive. There was a good finish to this match. I feel bad that I didn't write many notes. Like, okay, like Davey Richards is obviously like a technical master, and this is a great big man versus smaller man matchup. It's the Openweight Championship, so I guess they have a lot of mixes of different sized people wrestling one another for this belt. So it's an interesting, different kind of thing that they've got going on there at Major League Wrestling. But yes, it was interesting seeing Davey slowly but surely try and figure out a way to fucking beat the big man. The spot to end, pulling Pollo's wig off, was a good finish. With Thrillbilly having the wig in his hand, being like, "Oh shit, what have I done?" And then Davey with the ankle lock once again to get the win. It was a good match, but I just felt like I was ready for a palate cleanser. I was ready for something else. Joe Galley comes out, my good friend Joe Galley. By the way, you can check out my interview with him on the Insider's Edge podcast. He gets in the ring, and he says that only 2 people in the building know that this is happening right now, him and his boss, William Patrick Corgan. And he calls his girlfriend, Shelby Rodriguez, into the ring from the crowd. And he proposed to her in the ring. And I actually got a little teary-eyed. Usually I don't care about that kind of stuff. Like, I'm like, good for them. But because I've spoke to Joe Galley on my podcast, and he's a very nice guy, it made me feel like, all warm and fuzzy inside. So congratulations, Joe. That was very nice to see. And what an occasion to do it at. Because, the last time somebody proposed in the ring in front of a crowd, well, we know where that went, didn't we, Sammy? You fucking idiot. God, he's attention-seeking little fuck. Joe didn't do this for attention. Joe did this because it was something meaningful. He's not going to be divorced. He's not going to be broken up with her in a month and a half and then going out with a different person like a few weeks later. Anyway, enough of all that. Carl Davis gets in the ring. He's bringing someone else out. Yesterday we got Wildfire Tommy Rich. This time we get JJ Dillon and Barry Windham. Fucking dope. Love them both. It was great to see them again. Again, just simple words. It's all it needed to be. JJ said some nice things. Barry said some nice things about being happy to be there and all that. So it's very nice, and that's all it needs to be. Because if it was WWE, some heel would come out and either attack them or they get laid out by the legends or something like that. This is all it needed to be. May Valentine backstage with my queen, Camille, and her hubby, Thom Latimer. He's not wearing a shirt. He's obviously in great shape. He's got this English accent, and I just wrote down, I'm glad Camille managed to score a hot English bastard like Thom Latimer. Oh, you go, girl. I didn't realize at this time that the winner of the Burke Invitational on night 1 was going to wrestle the champion on night 2. So I didn't realize that Camille was going to be wrestling on both nights. So I got happy because I was like, oh, Camille's not going to be wrestling on this show. So not sure if I'm as excited as I was yesterday. Fucking hell, man. I love her. But yeah. Now, and I was like, great. Now I'm going to be nervous later because she's against Max the Impaler, and there's a good chance Max will walk away with the belt. But let's move forward. NWA national title. I didn't look at the card beforehand, to be honest with you, and I'm sorry, but I like going to this stuff cold, The national championship on the line, Cyon with Austin Idol at ringside, taking on former Crimson, Anthony Mayweather. Jax Dane came out as well. He has a seat. They're continuing the story. I get it. I'm sure at some point in the future there will be some sort of triple threat match, because this is where we're headed with the national title. I just thought Cyon surely retains. And I thought Cyon looked actually quite dominant in this match. Anthony Mayweather showed a bit of resilience, but Cyon getting the clean dominant win. And I did not write many notes, unfortunately, but I'm just going to say it was a solid back and forth contest between the two big men. Okay, let's move forward. We're making good time here because I'm not being interrupted every 2 seconds. Sorry, Juicy Boy. NWA Women's World Tag Team Titles. This is I guess it's a street fight. It's a tornado tag street fight. The Hex taking on the champions, Pretty Empowered, who beat them for the belts at Always Ready, the last pay-per-view from the NWA. I fucking laughed so hard. Was it? Yeah, Pretty Empowered. I think they were on the way to the ring, and the camera was just focused on them, and then the next thing you see, a fucking trash can is thrown right into their fucking heads. They both go falling over. And I kind of was thinking, you know what? I think the Hex might be the best women's tag team in wrestling right now. I know there's a few others that are doing all right, like Deonna and Chelsea and Impact, but they only just started. You know, the Hex have been around for a while. So again, props to them. They've done a great job over the last few years. Great spot with the ring bell, just popping on ahead and boom, fucking suck. And this was the change of pace I needed. This was the palate cleanser I was looking for. This was a very exciting contest. I liked seeing how Pretty Empowered were just getting worn the fuck out early. And Ella Envy screaming when she was getting hit. Some of those weapons was fantastic. She did a good job. The tall bald guy in the front row, sit down. And I already said it, but fuck. And I'm just putting this out there. I know a lot of people blew their proverbial load over Ty Conti and Anna Jay against Penelope Ford and the Bunny in their hardcore match however many months ago. But this is better. This was and is better than that match. So I don't care what anyone has to say. That's the comparison I'm making because that's the last female hardcore style match that has taken place in the last few months. So whatever. They pull out the Lego. Joe Galley popping me again. Where do they get the Legos? Did they bring their own Legos? It's called Lego, bro. Lego. But getting so worked up over Lego. Choke slam onto the Lego. Oh fuck. It works. It got a great reaction. Hex marks the spot, which is obviously a great move. But then there was a breakup of the pin, which was great suspense. I thought the Hex might have walked away with the belts. Man, big fail though. The one big fail. Allison Kay was on the top rope. The trash can was over, I think, Kenzie Page. And fuck, man, like she got interrupted and then she got knocked off the top rope through that fucking table on the outside. Fail on the camera angle, gang. Like, I don't know what was going on there, but the cameraman should have known that it was potential that Allison Kay was going to get knocked off to go through that table. And all we saw was her fall from the top rope and then out of shot as she goes, because where the camera is, all you can see are the fans in the front row. So she just kind of disappeared off the screen. You heard the table bump, but we didn't get to see it. So I'm like, do we have a replay? And then I kind of realized I don't think NWA do replays. I don't recall seeing a replay on this show. If there were, tell me, and I will accept that I was wrong. But if they were, then why the fuck didn't we get a replay of that? If there was a cameraman that missed that spot and no one shot it, then shame on you. Shame on you. Didn't matter though. What we had was a nice finish there with Kenzie turning full heel. I liked it. How it was a good follow up to yesterday. So now they're both full-fledged heels. Excuse me, Pretty Empowered, and Yes. Now, at this point of the show, that was the best match so far. And then I realized, holy shit, there is a lot of matches on this show. So no wonder I didn't watch the pre-show. No fucking way. Up next, NWA Junior Heavyweight Title, Homicide taking on Ricky Morton. I thought this was going to be interesting. You know, Ricky's still going at 65 years old. You got to give him props for that, you know, because I'm sure if he stopped, he'd probably get arthritic and he wouldn't be able to do it anymore. That's why he keeps going. And maybe he doesn't do it the way that he used to, and maybe he's not like he used to be, but still, I think he did a great job in this match with Homicide. Um, Homicide again with the mean streak that we saw against Ricky's son yesterday. I liked Ricky showing the experience edge, despite he doesn't have the quickness compared to Homicide. Suckering Homicide in when Homicide's charging at him, moving out the way, Homicide collides with that turnbuckle. That was good. Obviously, Ricky's not going to bump his ass off at 65. So they're figuring out different things to do in this match. And it was good. Homicide with the eye raking, the fish hooking. He's been fucking vicious, man. I like it. And I think that this is a good run that he's been on. He knocks him out with a shot to the back of the head, gets the win. It was an unprotected blow to the back of the head. Kerry comes down to look after his pops. I wanted Homicide to attack Kerry, but I'm guessing they didn't do that because there was going to be another attack coming up in the following match. So yeah, it was all right. It wasn't like it didn't blow my mind, but again, I went into it not really expecting a spectacle because he's 65, but still, it was serviceable. Let's move forward. Flip Gordon takes on Nick Aldis. I have never seen Flip Gordon wrestle because I hate the name Flip Gordon. He's a very athletic young man, and he's good at the stuff that he does, but I don't really like that style of wrestling. That being said, I wasn't offended by anything that he did in the match because everything still came across snug and realistic. So that's cool. Not everyone is going to be to my taste. And if you like him, cool. Like I hope everyone liked this match because I certainly did. There was good pace to start the match, and again, I needed this. I needed that palate cleanser because obviously Homicide and Ricky Morton was a little bit more slower. So it was a good palate cleanser. And I'm always invested in Nick Aldis matches because I think he's one of the best in the game. I think he always cuts a great promo. He's got a great look, and his wrestling matches are fantastic. And I just think he's believable. So I will always be intrigued and again invested in a Nick Aldis match. An avalanche fall away off the top rope. Fantastic stuff. That sets up a spot that's going to be happening later on. One other note that I wrote, I would love to see Nick Aldis versus Josh Alexander from Impact. I don't know if it's happened before, but I think that would be something to see for sure. Fantastic springboard missile drop kick from Flip Gordon. And the sunset flip powerbomb reversal of the avalanche fall away slam was very, very good too. Flush, not awkward. Sometimes those sunset flip powerbombs can be a little shit, but they did good here. Great spot with the clover leaf where he caught the guy's legs, where he caught Flip's legs going around the ring post because it was annoying me that he even did that in the first place. Like, no, don't. But after that, he locked in that clover leaf. It was over. Great match. Odinson came out and destroyed Flip like fuck. And then Nick Aldis made the save. And then he got laid the fuck out by Odinson as well. So here's the next angle for Nick Aldis going forward. Very, very good. Keep him busy. Keep him away from the world title because, he'd been around it for a while. Let's just keep him away. Okay, let's move forward, everyone. Tornado tag team match. Rodney Mack taking on, Rodney Mack and Aaron Stevens. I thought he retired. Fuck, I should have known it was a work. They take on Kratos, his former tag team partner, and the Pope in another tornado tag here. It's Falls Count Anywhere. That's what we're looking for here. Sorry, got a bit of a tickle in the throat. Love the beginning of the match where Aaron Stevens ran off and Kratos gave chase at the chase. The stalling suplex from Pope on Rodney Mack was fucking nuts, bro. Like, Very, very impressive. Like he had him in the air for fucking ages. Again, Rodney Mack is probably having his best run on a national level that he's ever had. Because again, as I said yesterday, in every NWA pay-per-view review, what this does for these guys in that portion of their career is give them the opportunity to do some shit and have some fruitful stories to do to work your matches and have that be the backdrop of something fruitful, not just wrestling on TV and having a 5-minute match on AEW Dark against some guy or whatever, or doing nothing at the WWE because you're just there to put people over. No, the NWA gives all these guys up and down the list at that stage of their career something fruitful to fucking do. Thank you very much. Okay. Kratos was on fire here, and I felt like this is the best I've seen from him. He seemed very motivated, and he was, for a big guy, doing a very, very good job. I'm not big on dives, but when Pope did his dives to the outside, I thought that that was a fantastic visual. So I was loving this one, and the show was certainly picking up from there. Excuse me. Kratos getting smacked in their head with the chair after an attempted suicide dive that we knew wasn't going to happen. Because no one's taking that shit. But Aaron Stevens gets on the mic. You know, he talks about how much he hates wrestling fans. He hates wrestling. Why are you wrestling for? He's such a dickhead. He's such a great character, bro. He gets back in the ring, gets laid out, but it's a near fall. They all head backstage, and they go behind the video screens. So all you see is silhouettes sprawling. Rodney Mack gets knocked down by the Pope, who's on one screen, behind one screen, sorry. And then on the other screen, you see Kratos dominating Aaron Stevens. He knocks Aaron down. Aaron stumbles. You see him through the entranceway, and then he goes to the other side of the other video screen is. And then he gets hit by Pope, and then he goes back again. Great fucking spot. That's, you know, that's when comedy is cool in wrestling. I really found that creative and funny. Great finish of the Pope rolling up Rodney Mack on the stage for the victory. Good stuff, guys. You kept the show rolling along. All right, I think we've got 3 to go now, everyone. So thank you very much for your time again, and apologies again for not doing the review with Juicy Boy, but I didn't hear from him, and I'm pretty sure that was him who tried to call me before, but it's too late. I'm already recording it. Next match, EC3 takes on Thom Latimer. So this should be good. I was interested to see where the story was going to go after their confrontation on night 1. And I was thinking at the beginning, EC3 is the perfect heel. He's able to come across very unlikable. He's a proper heel. He doesn't try and be cool. He just tries to be an actual heel. So good work. And it was a hell of a war between these two, with the story of EC3 trying to get Latimer angry. And, you know, he started to succeed in that to the point where EC3 was, you know, he's on the ropes, bro. He's on the ropes. And Latimer was closing in on finishing this off. And then control your narrative, attack Latimer. And all these guys, I'd never heard of them, never seen them before. I haven't watched any control your narrative, nothing against them. I think Adam Scher should have probably shown up too, even though I'm not really a big fan of him in the ring. But I assume he probably asked for too much money to appear. But I think he should have shown up as well to really, I don't know, just to make it a bit more of an epic moment. But maybe they also didn't want people to expect him to be around, because I'm sure that they're not going to bring him into the NWA, because I heard he asks for a lot of money to wrestle since leaving the WWE. So yes, DQ finish. EC3 with the promo on Latimer, or didn't even cut a promo, he just kind of threatened to hit him in the head with a chair. Whispers something into his ear. So it's an interesting development. We didn't need a proper finish here because the story's just begun. So I know a lot of people out there go, oh, the finish wasn't clean. Like, who gives a shit? Sometimes it matters to the story to have a DQ. Fuck you. May Valentine, the gorgeous May Valentine, backstage with Father James Mitchell, who is hyping up Max the Impaler. Nobody is quite like the Sinister Minister, that's for sure. I mean, he's got those fucking eyebrows. I wonder what people think when they see him in public and they're not a wrestling fan. I wonder what people think. Bully Ray joins commentary for the next matchup, my most anticipated on the show now that I found out about it halfway through. And I wrote, I have a bad feeling about this. NWA World Women's title, Camille, my queen, yes, taking on Max the Impaler. I think I already said that, but anyway. What a presentation for Max the Impaler during the entrance. I like it. It was interesting hearing Kyle Davis say they are the non-binary nightmare. That's the first time I've heard that. You know, it obviously the first time you hear it, it sounds weird, but fair enough. Now I know. Here comes Camille. Here comes my queen. Such a suckhole. Loving the outfit. She looked cool. Max with some solid heat on Camille at the beginning. I love this because it's like Camille has always been dominant. You haven't seen her in this position before. So, yeah, as a fan, you know, because I'm ultimately concerned about every match she's in that she's going to lose because I don't want her to, which is really rare for me to care that much. But I do on that level with her. I kept thinking, what is she going to do to figure out how to get the advantage? It's like I was watching a UFC fight and I thought it was real. That's the level of suspension of disbelief I put myself through when it comes to Camille's matches. So, you know, she had to figure it out. And slowly but surely, she found a thing here, pull her throat down on the rope. Utilizing the top rope. You never see Camille go off the top rope. Some cross bodies, some excellent drop kick, excuse me. I was so invested, my heart was pounding, and Max kicked out at 1. And then I guess my favorite spot of the match was Camille pulling Max the Impaler off the top rope, and she had her in the fucking torture rack. I was impressed that she did it to Taya Valkyrie. Doing it to Max the Impaler, who probably weighs a bit more than Taya, and you know she's built like a train. I don't know. She's built. She's big. She's a big girl. So she looks fucking heavy. She had her in the rack, and she fucking did the rack, and then she managed to swing her around for that bomb. I wrote, holy shit, like fit as a fiddle, bro. Spear from Camille, hoping it was over, got the rope break. So mad at James Mitchell. I felt frustrated. Out come the fucking dickheads. The Gimp, I don't know their names again, sorry. The Gimp guy gets laid the fuck out. That was hilarious to me. Just fucking pelted against the steel railing. Then Sal cops a fucking sweet spear on the outside. Then Camille gets hit with the wasteland, and I was like, no, it's over. The reign of 400 plus days is over. No. And then she kicked out, and I was just like, oh, couldn't fucking believe it, man. This is a roller coaster ride for me. And fucking Joe Galley, nobody kicks out of the wasteland. Fantastic stuff. He's just screaming, and I love it. That was followed with a double down, which was like, Jesus, man, fuck me dead. I'm on the edge of my seat. This could very well be the match of the show again, but maybe I'm just biased because I think I'm in love with her. I'm not really. I love someone else. So Camille ends up hitting the spear, gets the win. Wait, did she hit the spear? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm sure she hit a spear to get the win. I just wrote Camille wins. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, no, it was a roll-up pin. Sorry. I didn't write down what she did, so I forgot. Yes, 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 yes. Camille wins the match. She gets out by the skin of her teeth. Congratulations, Camille, on 2 great fucking matches on 2 nights of NWA 74. All right, let's move forward to the main event. Oh, wait, no, we can't. Because we're going to talk about William Patrick Corgan coming out with Kyle Davis. Very classy, very nice to have a a moment to remember the legends that have passed away over the last year. So the only thing I would have done was I would have put a picture of each person next to their name on the graphic. That's just me. So, okay, but time now for our main event of the evening. It is Trevor Murdoch, the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, defending against the television champion, Tyrus. So I was intrigued to see what was going to happen between these two, but as many may know, I've been a little critical of Tyrus's in-ring work over the last few pay-per-views I've seen. I feel like he's very, very stuck in the mud, very slow, too methodical. I get it, he's a big guy, but I just want to see a bit more pace. So that adds to more suspense during the match. But that's okay, because I'm going to say something real nice about him in a minute. The match began. Trevor Murdoch immediately powders to the outside, turns Black G's around, and fucking DDTs him on the floor. That was fucking awesome, man. And that was followed up by him hitting the Bulldog off the top on Tyrus real early, and the band's fucking popped, bro. But it was only a 2 count. And Trevor Murdoch was just on him. Joe Galli again. Trevor Murdoch came up with a plan. He's executing it to perfection. My God. 4 Velvet's right ear. Tyrus with the heat. He took over. He was getting that heat on Trevor Murdoch, but also showing the pace I've been asking for months. I just want him just a little bit more pace, so there's a little bit more oomph behind things that he's executing, especially when you hit like a running avalanche in the corner. I want to see a bit more of that from him. And that's what we got in this match. So he went all out, balls to the wall in this main event. Also loved him grabbing Trevor Murdoch's kid by the shirt. I thought that was funny. And I would say this is his best match since I've started watching the new NWA. So congratulations to him on how well he worked here. You can feel Trevor's pain through the selling of Tyrus's beatdown. Referee gets fucking crushed in the corner. We know it's gonna lead to some more drama. He grabbed a chair, I think. I don't know. I'm writing grabbed the chair. I don't even remember that. All I know is that there was a heart punch at some stage. And Trevor Murdoch kicked out of it, and no one had before. And obviously, once again, Joe Galli blew a gasket. Trevor Murdoch grabs a ring bell. Doesn't want to use it. This is all great stuff. Tyrus grabs the ring bell. Doesn't want to use it. But that leads to Trevor Murdoch hitting a low blow on Tyrus. And then he kicked out of another Bulldog. And I was like, fuck, I thought that was it. But then he hit a third. Trevor retained. Really great fucking match. Either the main event or the Camille match was the best match on this show. Let me have a look at everything else. Yeah, out of everything, I'd have to say those 2 matches were the best match on the show. I'm just going to say Camille's match is better because she is my favorite pro wrestler going right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. My review show here of NWA 74 Night 2. What will I give this out of 10? I'm not sure if it was better than yesterday, but I'm not sure if it was worse. Yesterday, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I think there might have been a couple more lowlights on this show than maybe yesterday. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to say 7.5 out of 10 for night 2. So a great show. Looking forward to, I guess it's Hard Times, I believe is the next pay-per-view for NWA. And I know we've got a few other things on the horizon here for the reviews here on the channel. WWE Clash at the Castle, AEW All Out, and I'm sure there's a whole other bunch of shit coming your way and our way very soon. So everybody, thank you so much for taking the time to check out my review show here again of NWA 74, the 74th anniversary show, night 2. I'm Karlifornia. This is the WZWA Network, and we will see you down the road. Thank you.
Network, that's the way. We like it. God almighty. Nope, hey, network, that's the way. We like it. Puppies. Nope, hey, network, that's the way. We like it.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA network.